Today we are looking at the Oathbreakers Kickstarter pre-alpha demo you can get on SideQuest right now. This is a spellcasting combat game, and this video is a guide on how to cast spells. Before we get to that, I'd just like to mention my channel. I focus mainly on Oculus Quest, game reviews, guides, top 5s, top 10s, weekly news and product reviews. So if you like this video, do consider subscribing and hitting that notification bell. Oathbreakers currently has an active Kickstarter campaign, and it aims to be an intense and innovative VR player versus player action combat game built around real-time active spellcasting, combat technique and strategical positioning. There's a bit of a learning curve when it comes to casting spells, but in this video I will be your Dumbledore and teach you everything you need to know about spellcasting. In this demo we have access to the elementalist spells, fire, water, earth and wind. Let's try cast a fire spell to start with. If we take a look at Fireball, it says to cast this we need fire, shoot and once. Now what does that mean? Well, if we take a look at this table here, we can see the element fire is akin to 0-1. 0-1, if we look at the controller, maps to A and B buttons, so A and B would be fire. Now looking back at the spell list, we also need shoot and once. Now if we go back to our table, we see that shoot and once belong to the following two columns, and shoot is mapped to A button, once is also mapped to A button, so we'll press the A button twice. Now we're going to put all of that together to cast a fireball spell, and I'm going to show you what that looks like on your controller. Now there's just a little bit more we need to know before we can cast our first spell. So in addition to tapping out the right sequence on the controller, we need to also use the grip and trigger buttons like we see here. You need to hold the grip, tap out the right spell sequence on the buttons, hold the trigger, then aim and release. And there you have it, your first ever spell. Now the longer you hold down that trigger, the more powerful your spell will be. However, if you hold it down for too long, your spell will fail. There is a little bit more to know when it comes to casting spells. We have this tier 2 section of the table that some spells use. So let's go to the spell list. We see that Fire Comet uses this 4th section of the table, and it says Sky. So if we look at Sky, that is 1-0, which translates to B and A on the controller. So this means we have to do those extra button pushes and also aim our hand up to the sky, look at where we want the comet to land, and it will strike wherever we were looking as we were casting the spell. Now if the tier 2 column says ground, you aim your hand down to the ground when you cast a spell, and if it says self, you aim at yourself as you cast the spell. Now some spells like Fire Comet and Earth Spike Wall appear wherever you are looking when you cast them, and some spells like this spell here, Earth Spike Wall, are also affected by the orientation of the hand. So you see, just by changing the orientation of my hand, I can make the wall go in 2 different directions. And if you want some more practice, just fire at this gem inside your house and you'll see these totems start firing projectiles at you. Now you can't actually die in this demo, but it's still good combat practice. And if you really want to test your skills, why not try casting 2 different spells in each hand. So in my left hand, I'm casting an Earth Spike Wall in defense, and in my right hand, I'm firing a fireball at the totem. Now one last thing before I go, apparently there's an unsolved puzzle in this demo that you have to solve in order to complete the demo. I haven't solved it, I don't know if anyone has yet, so you can give that a go if you're up for the challenge. Well, that's about it from me today. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you have, remember to subscribe and like, and I'll catch you next time.